Got the Hagerty Radical SR1 Cup out on track on their second green flag lap. They've got 3 races for this final round of the championship. Triple header, double points. It's all to play for, and we arrive here with the SR1s being led by Sam Shaw on 753 points, but Marcus Littlewood only back on 749, so just 4 points separate the top 2 in this championship, and the grid will be lining up as follows. On the front row, it will be number 11, Marcus Littlewood, and 16, Sam Shaw alongside him. So they're the opposite way round to their championship standings on this qualifying. Rolling start going to be taking place soon. Second row, number 78, Ashley Gaunt, and 26, Ollie Denning. And on row 3, it's 888, Matt Hammond, and 41, Bradley Gaunt. Good to see he's out there on circuit. Had an issue in the open practice this morning that meant that we did not see that car take part in qualifying, but has made it out at the back of this grid to take part in this opening race of the weekend. So Marcus Littlewood in that black car with the bronze flashes on it. He's got pole position, the lights are out, and off we go for this 20-minute Hagerty Radical SR1 Cup. And they're going into Paddock Hill Bend, and still the inside line being hugged by Littlewood, but Sam Shaw is not going to let him have it his own way, is he? He's desperately trying to hold on to it. Third for Ashley Gaunt as we stand at the moment. They're still side by side as they go round the hairpin. Plunging back down the hill. Now we're trying to go 3 wide, but it is Sam Shaw that's got the inside line, and he's got himself at last up into the lead of the race. So the championship leader takes the lead of the race halfway round this opening lap, but it has enabled the third place car of Ashley Gaunt to now bolt himself onto the back of this fight for the championship standings. And it does mean that it is all to play for, and my name is Chris Dawes, and I've been joined by Josh Barrett. He's been off interviewing, but Josh, what an incredible opening to this race. And I was going to pause, we got a challenge for the lead, but not quite on there. I think we're going to see this race long, aren't we?
Yeah, and double points up for grabs this weekend, and really whoever does best over the 3 races in the Brands Hatch weekend for the Hagerty Radical SR1 Cup, who's going to come out on top in the championship. It's been so even over the season between Sam Shaw and Marcus Littlewood, so an important move from Shaw to grab the lead on the first lap. But quite an extraordinary moment you described, Chris, as we went 3 abreast into Graham Hill Bend.
We did. It's not normal, is it, to get that? But they did a fabulous job to come out of it unscathed as well. The lead 2 are possibly starting to gap Ashley Gaunt in the 78 car a little bit at the moment as they come round to put the second lap in the book. And down across the line they go, and at the moment there's a little bit of daylight between Shaw and Littlewood. Shaw putting in the new fastest lap of the race just to try and give himself a bit of breathing room on this 20-minute race. I don't think he's going to get a lot of it, but one of the big things, Josh, that we also said was that with it being this double points, you can't not finish.
No, it's so close, this championship battle. A DNF would be a lot worse than finishing in second place. That is for sure. So for Marcus Littlewood, he'd like to grab the lead, but he really needs to do it safely as well, because no drop scores we don't believe in this championship. So therefore every point counts. Littlewood picked up some points for quickest in qualifying, but the points difference between first and second much larger than that. And Sam Shaw, who's taken most of the victories this season, he's had 6 overall wins at the SR1 Cup compared to Littlewood's 2, but Littlewood has regularly been on the podium, so that lead battle continues, but there are other battles further behind as well.
Yeah, Denning looks like he was under growing pressure there in the 26 car. He's dropped from 4th down to 5th position at the moment, under pressure from the recovering Bradley Gaunt, the 41 car that sits 3rd in the championship standings when we arrive here this weekend for the climax of their championship. I'm not convinced that car's fully back to where he expects it to be. So they're still trying to do stuff. But the Ashley Gaunt in the 78 is in a lonely 3rd position at the moment. But there's nothing lonely about this lead race. Even though there's a bit of daylight between Shaw and Littlewood, you still feel that Littlewood sat there just keeping it a manageable group, that when the time presents itself, he could pounce back again.
Yeah, there's going to be lots of laps in this 20-minute race around the short Brands Hatch circuit. So there's going to be opportunities perhaps if the tyres go off as the race goes on. But Marcus Littlewood certainly quite close at this stage, heading downhill into Graham Hill Bend. And as you said, in 3rd position there is Bradley is Ashley Gaunt, rather, who has had 3 victories over the course of this season. So has he got the pace today to go after his top 2? Early suggestions seem not, because he's a couple of seconds behind those top 2 that continue their battle with the teenager Sam Shaw, the former karting champion, that leads the way with Marcus Littlewood in his wheel tracks up across D-line and into Paddock Hill Bend. The fastest lap fractionally goes away of Littlewood, 48.106, which compared to a 48.123 for Sam Shaw. So equal are these 2 front runners.
Stats, damn stats, as they say. It's still a purple, but it's not by an awful lot. But that is the first time we've seen Littlewood being able to grab that one. So he is keeping Shaw very honest as they come down and round the Graham Hill Bend. Onto the Cooper Straight they go. Certainly you have to say that Littlewood's not close enough to actually pounce, but I equally think that he's kind of biding his time a little bit. He got a little bit out of shape going through the transition from the left to right of Surtees into McLaren there, but sort of rode it like a bucking bronco and kept it sort of pointing in the right direction just about, which is good to see. And across the line they go to put 6 laps in the book now, and that margin is staying around that just under half a second. Lonely 3rd position still for Ashley Gaunt in number 78, and then a bit of a gap back, and it's kind of 3 cars battling out for 4th. The most interesting one that's going on there is the 888 car of Hammond is now in the lead of the rookie fight, when wasn't the lead on the grid.
Yeah, that's
because Denning had that honour, didn't he?
Yeah, he's got past Ollie Denning early on, but now Denning is coming back at Matt Hammond, the former mini racer. So that's for the rookie standings. Meanwhile, the overall order, the pro class drivers, Sam Shaw and Marcus Littlewood, turn their way through Clark Curve to complete 7 laps. We've only just gone over a quarter's distance, so
it's going to get dizzy for him, isn't it, with this many laps around the Indy circuit? Goodness me.
That's absolutely right. So gap is just eking out. It's now 6/10 of a second between the top 2. I think Ollie Denning with a transponder issue, so it's just being plugged in on the timing screen now. So he's there in 5th position, but both he and Matt Hammond seemingly not as quick as Bradley Gaunt. So Bradley Gaunt, who had those problems and couldn't get out in qualifying, pressurising those 2 ahead, and they're almost side by side into Graham Hill Bend, I can see. And the positions, I don't think quite changed there, but a big challenge from Bradley Gaunt to try and gain positions. Meanwhile, the race leaders at Clearways, potentially a smaller gap between the 2 of them. Yeah,
this has come down a lot. It had just gone over half a second. There's that battle that we've been talking about for 4th backwards. Oh, and Denning's just lost a little bit out there. And I thought that we were going to get the challenge by Bradley Gaunt. 3rd in the championship standings, don't forget, for that car at the back there, the white car with the blue and black flashes on it. But Denning has the nod. He wants to be looking forward because he wants to get past Hammond, because Hammond is leading the rookie fight in this one. But of course Hammond, the first of those 3 cars we're looking at there, has the chance this weekend to actually secure the rookie championship title, because obviously we lost, didn't we, sadly, Lexi, that was leading that rookie title. She's not here. I think you suggested she's racing something up at Donington Park, and it means that Hammond's just got to keep those points ticking over and could actually nick that title away on these final rounds.
Yeah, I should imagine 3 finishes for Matt Hammond this weekend, as there's only 2 rookie point-scoring cars. 2 finishes for Matt Hammond would seal him the championship, but he must finish the 3 of them, because Lexi Belk had quite a big lead in that championship coming into this race. Absolutely nose to tail across the line for 5th position into Paddock Hill Bend. Looking to the inside is Bradley Gaunt, but taking the line is the car of Ollie Denning. So Ollie Denning hangs on to 5th place. He'd quite like a rookie win if he could, but he's as much as he would like to attack Matt Hammond, his mirrors are absolutely full of the car behind of Bradley Gaunt.
Yeah, that is just so. Oh, Gaunt just got a little bit of a wiggle there as he booted on the power coming out of the Druids hairpin, but kept it nicely on the tarmac and down the hill, and it hasn't compromised him at all. The 3 of them absolutely together. Hammond, 888 leading the way in this trio. That's 4th on the road, leading the rookie fight, but Denning's looking up the inside to see if he can steal away the lead in the rookie championship fight in this particular race. Still trying as they come through Clark Curve onto the Bentley Straight. Surely he's got that one done, because he's going to have the inside line for Paddock Hill Bend, and it is signed, sealed and delivered up into the lead of the rookie fight for the number 26 Denning.
Yeah, Ollie Denning having his first race in an SR1 this year. I think he's done some racing in an SR3, and it's allowed a big challenge.
No.
A bit too much of a challenge, I think it's fair to say, from Bradley Gaunt.
That was Wow, that was crazy. He was on the grass, just couldn't get it stopped. He'd obviously missed his braking point and realised way too late. And that is going to be so soul-destroying for the 26 car of Denning, still not registering as running in a position because the transponder issue had got that move. And I've got a feeling he may have a slight issue with that car now because he's slow and getting passed by Bradley Gaunt, and I think he's coming into the pits.
There might be damage to the rear wing, even the right-hand element on the rear wing.
That's just unfair, isn't it? That is harsh, very harsh indeed. Minding his own business, had done a great move to take the lead in the rookie fight, and then was suddenly assaulted by an out-of-control car, basically.
Yeah, the rear wing's bent, isn't it? So the right-hand element on it as the car makes its way down the pit lane.
Frustrated driver there as well, wasn't he?
I think it's fair to say that's unsurprising.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the race lead battle is absolutely together. We've taken our eyes off of it for a couple of laps. Well, it's closer than anything now. 0.2 of a second after 11 laps between Sam Shaw and Marcus Littlewood. Sam Shaw came into this race as a championship leader of 4 points, but due to being quickest in qualifying and starting in pole position, a further 2 points scored for Marcus Littlewood. But there is 10 points difference between finishing first and second, so that would give Shaw a more comfortable margin heading into this afternoon's race. However, Marcus Littlewood is right underneath his rear wing through Druids and has every intention to get past in the second half of this race.
Yeah, I love it that you use the word comfortable, and there's nothing comfortable. Incidentally, into the pits has also come Bradley Gaunt, so the car that went diving up the inside out of control in towards Paddock Hill. I still say that car didn't look back up to the speed I'd expect it, and maybe it was a bit of an issue, including maybe a brake issue that threw him onto the grass on the heading up to the hairpin in the first place. But he's into the pits as well. Denning out of the race, as we know. So it is primarily all about this tussle out front, which, let's be honest, that's what we were going to largely be focused on anyway, because it is about this championship fight. But suddenly there's a gap there between them. Shaw's managed to pull away, slash Littlewood just lost a bit of ground on Shaw.
Yeah, not sure he got turned into Paddock Hill Bend quite like he would hope to be. At the line, it was 0.27 of a second, not very much, but through Paddock Hill Bend, the gap extended between Sam Shaw and Marcus Littlewood. Sam Shaw, who's had 6 wins this season, Marcus Littlewood, who has had 2 victories over the course of the 2024 season, but for the first time, the Hagerty Radical SR1 Cup as the prime category, with the split races we have today at, or over this weekend here at Brands Hatch.
Incidentally, coming back out of the pits, actually right in front of our leaders, but it's just saying right out of the way now is Bradley Gaunt. So the 41 car has come back out again and had a look to see if there's any significant damage. Now you see at the back of that trio, but a lap down now.
I wonder if Marcus Littlewood was just a little bit more circumspect there through Paddock Chris, and the gap's just extended a bit more.
It's got to psych you out, hasn't it, at that very fast Paddock Hill Bend right-hander as you go plunging down the hill, and suddenly something a bit slower comes out of the pit lane and just catches your eye at the very least. So yes, I would say that margin's gone up. It was fractionally under 3/4 of a second was the margin between the lead two when they crossed the line last time round, and they're coming to the line to put 15 laps in the book this time. And we're just under 8 minutes left on the clock for this opening of 3 races for Hagerty Radical SR1s. And it is up to 0.937, so he's still keeping it within that DRS zone.
Should they have one?
You never know, you never know.
Well, was it for the Denning car, that had a bit too much active aero, didn't it? That caused him to come into the pit lane. So 15 seconds back, but still in 3rd position is Ashley Gaunt, who has been a winner this year, but who's not living with the pace of the top 2 in this first race, and he's about 6 seconds ahead of Matt Hammond, who is on course for a rookie class victory. 7 minutes on the clock then. The 2 cars up front, that gap has come down surely, hasn't it? What was 9/10 of a second between Sam Shaw and Marcus Littlewood. Marcus Littlewood pushing on and brings the gap down to 6/10 of a second. He was over 3 tenths faster on just that 1 lap.
And that was not by suddenly putting in a barnstorm. I mean, actually wasn't far off the fastest lap of the race, was he? But it was Shaw lost about 3/10, and Littlewood sort of kept consistent with his best lap thus far. Down the hill they plunge again towards Graham Hill Bend, turn a left onto the Cooper Straight for the 17th time, and Shaw still leading this way. He had to fight hard at the beginning to fight from second on the grid to take the lead after, what did we have, about 3 or 4 corners in a row where they stayed side by side. And as you said, they had to contend with Ashley Gaunt, number 78, making it 3 wide at one point. But through came the championship leader, Shaw, number 16, to take the nod at the moment. But he's still got 6¼ minutes left to go. That clock must look to him like it's stopped.
That's right. It's only 48 seconds less each time he comes around the circuit. And it doesn't feel like it's going very quick when you're in front of Sam Shaw. For Marcus Littlewood, he'd line the clock to stay on an upward until he kept in front. A little bit sideways through to the race leader, Sam Shaw. They drop down the hill into Graham Hill Bend. That down to 4/10 of a second. It was almost a second 2 laps ago. Littlewood's quickly closed in on Shaw. He was quicker than him in qualifying by best part of 4/10 of a second as well. So Littlewood is seemingly the quicker driver today at Brands Hatch, but Sam Shaw had the racecraft on that opening lap to grab the lead, and now it's up to Marcus Littlewood to see if he can find a way through in the final quarter of this race.
Yeah, and I mean, we've said about the fact that it being fairly difficult to pass here on the Indy circuit at Brands Hatch, especially when you've got the aero. That means you can go a lot deeper in the corners before applying the brakes, therefore minimising the space to do that down there, lunge up the inside, etc. And Littlewood will say, yes, but Shaw managed to overtake me. But at that point, they were still riding side by side, weren't they? So it's going to take something a little bit special. And I still wonder whether he's going, well, if I go and do it too soon, then I'm the one with the target on the back again.
Yeah, that's right. You know, he doesn't want and equally, like Sam Shaw, they've both got that same safety option they're thinking about this first race of the weekend. They don't want to end up being a DNF. They've got to make the move, but make it safely. Meanwhile, still leading the rookie division to claw some more points back is Matt Hammond. He was trailing Lexi Balk in the championship by something like 170 points coming into the weekend, but they're about 250 on offer. So as long as Matt Hammond finishes those 3 races, and he just about avoided the mayhem on that lap of Druids, didn't he? How long could that have gone for Matt Hammond if he hadn't just lost that place? Because he would have been perhaps the one in the firing line, but he's still on terms then to perhaps clinch a rookie crown. It's much more harder to know who's going to win the Pro Championship this year. Basically nothing between Sam Shaw and Marcus Littlewood coming into this race. 4/10 of a second it is on the circuit. They go through the flat-out flick at McLaren into clearways. Sam Shaw's kind of seems to move around a bit more, doesn't he? It slides around, and he's able to control those slides, but could that give Marcus Littlewood the option to challenge? He reclosed his gap very quickly, but he hasn't been able to really put an actual attacking move on as of yet in this race. We've had 20 laps of the race, we've got just less than 4 minutes to go.
Yeah, the big one with it being double points is that normally it would be 80, 70, 60. Well, suddenly, instead of it being a 10-point swing between first and second, it's now 20 points.
It's actually
no, that is the one, sorry. Instead of it being 5 points difference, I get it right, it's actually 10 points. But the point being is that's a bigger stretch than we have here from Shaw than you would normally see in the fight. So, yeah, it would normally be, what, 40 and 35. It's now 80 and 70. Oh, and very close there between the front two. Littlewood got a good run through Surtees and McLaren in towards Clearways. Couldn't quite make it work as it gets a little bit of a funnel through that section. So he comes across. The margin was 0.4 last time. It is now, well, not that much less, 0.351. But do you reckon they get dirty air behind these cars?
They're only getting some to an element, weren't they, being with the wings. It'd be a small amount, it won't be single seater, certainly not Formula 1 effects, but it would be a small problem. It'll cause a bit of understeer usually for the car behind, as they won't have all that grip from the front splitter they might be expecting. But yeah, it's not a huge difference. It might mean the tyres go off a little bit quicker, although if anything it feels like Sam Shaw's tyres are going off quicker because he's the one that's sliding around a bit more than Marcus Littlewood. Although when Littlewood did that big late braking move into Clearways a lap ago, he was the one that was sliding around.
Well, we've got, I think that's actually the Gaunt car that's a lap down that's fighting with the car just with Ashley Gaunt getting past Bradley Gaunt. That one was there, so but they're separated by at least 1 lap, if not 2, after the incident a little bit earlier. But The other one is that Littlewood currently has the fastest lap of the race. That normally is 1 point. This time it's going to be 2 points. And he got the points for pole position as well.
That's right. So instead of a 10-point swing in this race, if they stay as they are, it'll be a 6-point swing. So it's not as much lost. So if they stay as they are, it'll go from 4 to 10 points, the difference between the two championship contenders. But that is a difference that Marcus Littlewood can make back in another race. We've still got 2 races to go after this one. We've got one later on this afternoon and then one tomorrow morning here at Brands Hatch. There's 90 seconds on the clock. Lap 23 has just been completed by the leader, so 2 laps to go. There's a larger gap actually between the top two, so I'm sure 7 tenths ahead.
Yeah, he's getting ready, but we're looking at the third place car there of Ashley Gaunt, car number 78. Was sort of taking a bit of a breather after getting past Bradley Gaunt a couple of laps ago to put a lap on, but the leader's coming down for the penultimate time round the Graham Hill bend onto the Cooper Straight, and that has sort of stayed with that level of gap actually, hasn't it? I sort of teased that maybe Littlewood was taking a breather, ready to come back again, but he's kind of running out of time to actually launch that challenge, isn't he?
Yeah, so perhaps now regroup, ready for later on today, try and actually make the first lap stick ahead of Sam Shaw. You wonder if the positions were the other way round, whether Sam Shaw would be able to make a move on Marcus Littlewood, but as it's been, Sam Shaw that's been in front throughout the majority of this race. It's never been more than a second, the gap between the two of them, but there's never really been a serious challenge being made by Marcus Littlewood. Maybe he's getting a little bit closer on this last lap, but it is the last lap for sure. It's too late and it's all good for Sam Shaw.
Yeah, it's looking good. Down the Cooper Straight he goes for the final time to round out this opening race of 3 this weekend, and he's doing what he needs to do. He might not have got pole, he might not currently have fastest lap, but he's going to go for the big points, and that is the race win to try and stretch that 4-point margin that he arrived here with. Onto the start-finish straight they come, and it looks like it is going to be that win for the number 16 car of Sam Shaw. Takes the checkered flag, and no wonder he's weaving into light across the start-finish straight there, because he knows that he's done the most important thing there and get the maximum points in the book. Second place does go to the number 11 car of Marcus Littlewood. He'll be frustrated he hasn't got the win, but at least can that be filed under damage limitation to some extent, because he's managed that as much as he can.
Yeah, he hasn't lost as many points as he might have done with that pole position and fastest lap. So I reckon Sam Shaw now on 839 points, Marcus Littlewood on 829, so 10 points between them with 2 rounds of the championship to go.
Checkered flag there taken by Ashley Gaunt. The 78 car comes home in 3rd position. Triple Eight, Matt Hammond, comes home 4th on the road, but most important for him, gives him the victory in the rookie class as well, so closes that gap up on Lexi to see if he can win the rookie championship in 2024. And then the final finisher is the number 41 car of Bradley Gaunt, and he'll be relieved that there's no long-standing damage on that car from the incident with the 26 car of Ollie Denning. Hopefully Denning will get that car sorted for race number 2 a little bit later. So there we have the opening race of the Hagerty Radical SR1 Cup. We will, of course, be back for all of the races, which does include the SR3s. They'll be out a little bit later. But as you see there, victory goes the way of number 16, Sam Shaw. And the number 11 car, Marcus Littlewood, in 2nd place, gets, as you see at the bottom, the fastest lap, so the extra points go his way for that one. 3rd place, number 78, Ashley Gaunt. 4th, Triple Eight, Matt Hammond, and the winner of the rookie. And in 5th position, Bradley Gaunt, number 41, the final finisher, officially done. 26, Ollie Denning, that we lost around about sort of halfway through that race. So that is race number 1 for the Hagerty Radical SR1 Cup. We will be back a little bit later after the lunch break. We're going to have the Hagerty Radical SR3 Cup, and both of them get to do it again before we round out the action for day 1 here for the 4 Power Live weekend at Brands Hatch.